Hi everyone, my name is Giuliano. In this video I'll show you how to create a personal app in Microsoft Teams across SharePoint Framework. But before to jump in, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to stay updated with my next videos. A personal app in Microsoft Teams, it's something that opens a big door to many scenarios. In fact, imagine that you need to have an application available to the entire organization where every user can get access. That's the case. Next to the calls button on Microsoft Teams, calendar and files, you can have your icon that opens your application directly in Microsoft Teams. We will explore also SharePoint Framework, a new development model that allows you to extend Teams and SharePoint. Okay, enough talk, let's go. Here I am on my PC. Now I'll show you immediately a demo of the final version of what we are gonna do in this tutorial. So I'm going to open here a new personal application that I developed here and is next to files. If I click on it, I can get access to this personal app, and I have three tabs here: Teams, SharePoint and OneDrive. Now this application is also available on the Teams mobile application. In fact, if I open Teams on my Android device and if I click on three dots, I have this fantastic personal app available here. I can open it and I will have the same three tabs, the same experience that we have seen on the full version of Teams. I can click on the second tab, SharePoint, and I will have a new page, and then OneDrive. I created these three tabs just to show you the capabilities of this application. This is very great. Imagine that you need to have an application tenant-wide available for every user in your organization. This is an amazing way, considering that Teams, it's one tool for one purpose. So that's a very great feature. What kind of requirements you need to install and create a new personal app? So I recommend you to open the documentation, the official documentation of Microsoft about SharePoint Framework. You need to follow some steps in order to prepare your device to be able to create new SharePoint Framework solution. So you will find this guideline on the official documentation of Microsoft at this URL. You need to follow some steps. You need to install Node.js, then you need to have a code editor, Visual Studio Code, Atom, WebStorm. As an additional step, you need to install the Yeoman generator in order to create the template of the solution and starting from scratch. Then you need to install Gulp, and then you need to also trust a dev certificate to debug the solution. As a second requirements, what I recommend you is to install an application available in Teams in the store, totally free, of course, developed by Microsoft. If you type in Studio in the text search box, you will find this application, and this is very great because it helps you to create new application and extend Teams. So as a tab, we have here the manifest editor, where you can create the manifest of the application. You can start from a new one, or you can import an existing one. Then you can validate this manifest, and you can check if this manifest is ready to be submitted to the store eventually, if this is your goal. Then we have an additional pivot, which is in this case card editor, and this is a totally new topic. In fact, here you can create adaptive card. Then we have control library. If you want to reuse the same user interface of themes in your web application, so for example, if you want to have the same look and feel, buttons, drop down, checkbox, you can do that. And if you click on show code, you can see the code here. This is for React application. You can easily adopt and reuse the same themes user interface. It's time to create the solution. So let me open a command line instance where I can invoke by typing EO at Microsoft SharePoint. I can invoke the human generator to scaffold and create the solution from scratch. Here you have the first answer where you have to select what kind of solution do you want to install. Considering our goal, a Teams personal app, we have to select web part, but you can also create SPFX extension or library depending on your needs. So as I said, we have to develop a personal app, and I want to have 3 tabs in this personal app. So let me select web part, and you have to decide a title of this web part, a description, and you will receive other questions, but I will not go forward with this tutorial because I already performed this operation. This is just to give you an overview how you can start to create the solution. Okay, now going on Visual Studio Code, here I have my application, my SPFX solution. So under web parts folder, we have 3 folders: OneDrive, SharePoint, and Teams. Every web part is a new tab in the personal app, and that's the reason why we have seen before these 3 tabs, because we have here 3 web parts: OneDrive, SharePoint, and Teams. Now I'll show you how you can generate the package of this solution, and I'll also show you how you can deploy this solution in Teams in 2 ways. The first one is directly in the SharePoint app catalog. If you are not familiar with that, please read the documentation written by Microsoft. Okay, so now if I open the manifest of this web part, as you can see, we have here supported hosts, Teams personal app. So this web part is a personal app. I defined here the same for SharePoint, web part, and OneDrive as well. So this allows me to synchronize directly this SharePoint Framework solution from the app catalog to Teams. This first way is easy and faster. So now, just to give you the perspective that something is changed, I will change the text here, because we have here in the Teams web part, we have this kind of text synchronized from the app catalog. In fact, if I open my application here, we can see that we have this text synchronized from the app catalog. Okay, let me change now. This is a great way to extend Teams. Okay, let me save. Now opening again the command line instance here, I am in this folder. So you have to type gulp clean to clean previous build. The second command is gulp bundle ship. This will create the file assets of the web part. So basically we'll generate JavaScript and CSS files. And last command to run is gulp package solution always with the flagship because my solution is ready to go on production. Okay, so now we have a new file, this one, sppkj file, and this is the package of my application. If I open the Explorer here, we can see that we have this file under this path. I am ready now to upload this package on my SharePoint app catalog. If I open the SharePoint app catalog, let me refresh, I can drag and drop this new package of my solution. I will replace the previous version. Now we have this checkbox that makes my solution available in all my organization, so every user can get access. Okay, so now if I select this item, we can see that we have this button here, sync to Teams. This will synchronize directly the solution from the app catalog to Teams. Okay, now this should be done. If I switch on Teams and if I open the application, we should see the new text here. This is a great way to extend Teams. This is the way how you can deploy manually an SPFX solution to Teams. Okay, now I'll show you a second option. This is my favorite because you have additional information useful for the end user. If I go now on my Studio app of Teams, open manifest editor, we have here a manifest that I imported, so you can do the same if you already have a manifest. You can read documentation about how to create the manifest to extend Teams with a personal app. So I will open, and we have now this manifest that I already filled out. So you have several information, you have to define a short name, and this is the name that will appear exactly here. So then you have to reuse the ID of the SPFX solution. You can find this ID when you created the solution the first time with the Yeoman generator, and it's in the manifest of the application. So this is the ID of the web part, and you have to use this ID. In this way, Microsoft is able to create the relationship between the SharePoint Framework solution and the Teams application. Okay, so then we have the package name, then a short description of your application, a full description. We have 4,000 characters or less for this field. Then we have the developer of the company name that has built this application. And now you have these three information: website, privacy statement, and terms of use. When you follow the first approach, you don't have this additional information for the end user. I think this is very helpful for the user, especially if in the first URL you target a page where you explain how to use this application, what this application does, and why the end user has to use this personal app. So you can store a lot of information there, helpful for the user. And this is exactly the reason why I prefer this second option to deploy a personal app in Teams. Then you can define a privacy statement and a third URL where you can put the terms of use of this application. Then you have to select some icon here. You have to follow these sites that you have, and the outline here should be transparent, and this is how will appear also in the store if you want to push the application in the Teams store. So now I'm not interested to add some icon. If you don't fill these 3 fields, you will have by default this kind of icon. It's fine for me, just to demonstrate you. Let me show you now the manifest how it looks like in Visual Studio Code. Under the folder Teams, we have this manifest. Here we go, and these are all the information that we have seen before. We have here the static tabs and the three tabs that we have seen: SharePoint, OneDrive, and Teams. So when you copy from the documentation this URL, you have to replace the component ID, and here you have to add the ID of the web part. Okay, in fact we can see that we have 3 GUID. Okay, so then there is also the valid domains for this SPFX solution. This is what you have to insert in this section. Okay, we are now ready to go. Opening the folder of this solution, you have to create a zip file of the icons and the manifest file. So this is my zip file. So then you have to jump on the browser and you have to open the admin Teams portal. Let me go in, because we need to upload this package in the catalog. So you have to expand Teams apps, then in Manage App you have to upload this package. So I have already these three application because I synchronized before the 3 application directly from the app catalog. Okay, so now I will upload the manifest, the zip file, Teams PA zip. Okay, now we have this kind of error because we have already these 3 applications. So theoretically, before to upload again this file, I need to delete this application. So then I have to go here and then delete. Then let me go on OneDrive, delete again, and SharePoint, and delete again. Okay, now let me try again to upload my manifest contained in the zip file. We have again this kind of error, so it takes some time before you can do that. Probably maybe I'll be lucky now. Here we go. The application is ready now. But before to open again Teams, I'll show you that I have here as permission policy the global by default. So every user is using this policy, and in this policy we can install new application, third-party apps, and custom apps. On the setup policy, you have an option here always in the global policy. You have this section of pinned apps. If your intention is to make available this application on the left side of Teams, you have to search here the application that you are already installed and add, and this application is now pinned. This means that it will be available in the Teams mobile application for Android and iOS. So now opening Teams again, we will see in the apps that we have now this build for Giuliano de Luca, Giuliano demo. This is the tenant where I am working on, and this is the application already installed. We have the information that I written in the manifest. Teams Personal Apps allows you to engage your user, and then I can open this application. In the About tab, we can see the description of this application, the developer, and then we have the classic 3 links that I showed you before, and then we have the privacy policy and the terms of use. In this second approach, you have more information for the end user. This is absolutely important. Then remember that if you want to make available this application in your Teams mobile application for Android and iOS, remember to pin the app in the Teams admin portal. And here we go, the application is here. Also, I can open a tab and another. I can click on learn more, for example, and this will open directly in Teams also the documentation. Alright, we have seen in this tutorial how to create personal app in Microsoft Teams. If you enjoyed the video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to stay updated with my next videos. If you want to see me cover any other topics in the future, put a comment down below. I read them all and I'll build my to-do list for next videos. I hope to see you next time. Bye!